Guys, today we're going to be watching Southern California Police Chase, September 28th, 2016. Bam! Let's watch it now.
You see that silver sedan right there? Well, that's the suspect, and the suspect, what we hear right now, is wanted for vandalism of a hotel or a motel room, which is very interesting because that is a...
And the suspect is wanted for motel and vandalism. He's wanted for misdemeanor, and he has to deal with evading charges. Evading charges. And that is a 2010 Mercedes-Benz E-Class coupe. If we can see. Yes, that is the car. Yeah, that is the car right there. And that's a Mercedes-Benz E350 coupe. And that pursuit of that vandalism suspect, he is on 405 freeway. We will listen to that CHP officer on the phone. Let's listen now.
Well, what we know is the Inglewood PD is initially was looking for a suspect that was apparently involved in the vandalism at a hotel room in Inglewood. And when they request CHP for assistance, we were able to locate the vehicle and try to attempt to make a stop on this vehicle, at which time he failed to stop, and that's the pursuit.
What type of charge does it entailed vandalism of a hotel or motel?
With the slower traffic in the way, that suspect, that we do know for sure that it was a type of vandalism or was a potential property. He's on 405 freeway. CHP suspect wanted for vandalism, for vandalizing hotel room. He's on 405 freeway, Sherman Oaks, and some sort of slow, and where the driver is minding everything except for pulling over. This might be one of those situations when that is a Mercedes that is, they're gonna try to get a little closer, look and engage our suspect. Looks like a new Mercedes-Benz, another Mercedes-Benz class in a speed. The state of his mind, he is reaching around in the passenger area. That is always a big concern for the officers when you know that is a Mercedes E-Class coupe. Yeah. This is not a stolen car. Yeah, no, this is not a stolen car. It's not a stolen vehicle that belongs to the owner, the driver. Very telling why the suspect will not pull over. Why he doesn't want to pull over. He wants to get away from cops.
Back to a registered owner, and they know the address that the vehicle comes back to. The officers will try to make contact with the owner of the vehicle and make sure that if they don't answer or try to tie that vehicle with that suspect. Now, obviously, if it's an unreported stolen, it could be stolen and not and just finding out that it was stolen. So there's a lot of possibilities here as they continue here northbound approaching Burbank Boulevard here on the 405 that this could be. But right now, again, I think the best option for them, if they decide to do so, would be a spike strip. And if that deploys and they do that, we'll let you know.
It will be a spike strip if it deploys.
If you have been trained in that
He's
maneuver as a police officer and it has been a long time and you have deployed that technique, it's a perishable skill set. So we'll always get recurrent training. You have to go through so much training over certain years. Again, that supervisor knows all his officers.
He's on 405 freeway and
what they're trained in. So they may
with
have
their
an
training,
officer that's actually
there's an LAPD helicopter.
So these are all things that
Sherman
normally
Oaks
aren't talked
helicopter,
about.
police
The decisions
helicopter,
that these
and
supervisors
they're trying
make.
to
That is things that are
trying
going through
to
their minds
get
and how
behind
they
that
supervise
vehicle.
these pursuits. We're going to tighten back up on the suspect and we'll let you know if he does. But so far committed to the northbound 5 here, coming through the New
He's
Hall.
committed to the northbound 5 freeway.
It's wide open, 55, 65.
55,
All the way up
55,
here
60,
as it
55,
goes up
55,
towards the
65 miles per hour.
area. We don't see anything worth that's going to slow him down at all.
That's going to slow him down.
Yeah, we'll pull out and show you right now. Black and whites are at least 3 or 4. You can see that, oh, well, this is interesting. We'll see what happens here. This is unusual. Maybe using that van for cover. Well, he was going to try to. He was going to try to get behind that van, use it for cover, and maybe pop in and surprise the suspect. But the van had different plans, so he continues northbound. But it almost looked like he wanted to maybe get a better look at the suspect or put himself in a position to do a pit maneuver.
Yeah, it looked like that van didn't want anything to do with that situation.
No.
He got out of that situation very quickly.
Yep. We're coming up on McBean Parkway here, northbound 5. We continue looking at speeds. I'm looking at Air 7 right now, probably 55 miles per hour again.
55 miles per hour again, well below the speed limit. You can see the cars, the cop cars are behind that vehicle. And even the E-Class coupe, that's a sedan. That's an E-Class coupe right there. Yeah, that's an E-Class coupe.
That's probably slowing down.
Probably slowing down
Ahead of the
as well.
suspect. So, but again, if I look ahead, I don't see
any
slowing up
you
ahead at
don't
all.
see any
If you live in LA for any amount of time,
slowing
you know
down.
if you hear sirens
Any
and you're on
up
the freeway,
now.
maybe to steer clear, go to the right
Steer
side,
clear.
right-hand
Steer
side of the
clear.
freeway. Get
Yeah,
out of the way.
steer
'Cause
clear.
we've all
Go to the
seen
right
these
side.
chases and
Oh
pursuits
no,
happen.
these are set of
Yeah,
clear.
great shot there from camera operator Rob
CHP,
Gluckman and
405
CHP
freeway.
here. Support right over the top of this pursuit as it continues here. Their job is so important in this pursuit and maintaining the communications. Bold actually take over the broadcast for the primary and secondary units, making sure that they're putting out the information on where the suspect is, speeds, everything relative to the pursuit and the management of the pursuit. So the driving officers can just focus on the driving, focus on the suspect, and not have to worry about it. That's one of the things these tactical flight officers and pilots from the air support divisions across Southern California do
I-5
to make sure
freeway.
these things stay safe.
Santa
We are
Clarita.
crossing Valencia Boulevard here, northbound 5, looking about 65 miles, 65-70 maybe right now.
65-70 right now.
Just continue on. You see
And they're
it. That
gonna
was a
deploy the
sheriff's
spike
car.
strips. No, not gonna work. Not
Sheriff's
gonna
car
happen.
parked on the Gore Point there as he went by. They're well aware of this pursuit that's coming, and they will not get involved at all. They'll let CHP handle this, and only if CHP requests their assistance will they get in pursuit. That's normally only after it comes off the freeway. So last thing the Santa Clarita Watch Commander wants is all of his units to get involved in this pursuit and leave the area. So they'll just let CHP pass through, keep an eye on it. If he gets off the freeway, we'll they'll help out with that. So right now approaching Magic Mountain, and be the next off ramp here. We're pretty much coming up on the park now. And I'm going to slide over just a little bit and see if we can get the license plate for our desk. Maybe that'll help out with trying to figure out what we're dealing with here. As I kind of slide Sky 5 over a little bit closer, and my photographer Chris Haug has been working really well with the camera here, keeping an eye on it. So we're going to push in just a little tighter here, and hopefully somebody on the desk will be able to pick off that license plate to be able to see exactly what it is, and they can maybe check, figure out who this car belongs to, and get a little more information like that. But this is pretty much as close as I can get because of the area down below us. So hopefully with your larger monitors in the screen or in the station,
looks like he's on the phone.
That's another little asset we can use to help out us up here. We're still waiting for information from CHP Public Information Officer on exactly what's going on here. So Glenn and Lou, if once the desk lets you know, jump right on in and take it and let us know exactly what this guy is up to and what their idea is with this suspect. Probably in the 50 to 60 mile an hour range. Now you see he's got the window down again. He's got a phone in one hand and a piece of paper in the other, so he's giving somebody a call. So, you just don't know what's up with this guy.
He's giving somebody a call.
Kind of these. Yep. Yes. So. Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to get something out of the car. I mean, that's normally when the window comes down. So, but it looks like the window's still up to me. I can still see a reflection of it. He's kind of digging through the center console here.
That vehicle.
Sorting things in the center console, make sure everything's in order. Maybe he's getting ready to stop. Yeah, doing the knee steering while you're being pursued. Yeah, look, my partner just said, Chris said, he's going through his mail. I hate to make light of this, but in a situation like this, it is pretty comical. He's driving with his knees.
Driving with his knees.
Like no one's around him. He's just going somewhere. And
he has
doing what a lot of drivers do on the freeways, just do everything else but drive.
He's pretending to.
And right now he's definitely digging through paperwork here. maybe he's pulling out maps, trying to figure out where he's going to go.
He's pulling out
we are
maps.
looking at this car right now.
It is
obviously it's a Mercedes. Dave Coons, our car specialist, has weighed in. It's tough to tell from this distance. It's either a C-Class or an E-Class. Generally a nice car. But JT, from what you understand, it is not registered as a stolen vehicle, correct?
Well, right now we don't. If it is stolen, it's an unreported stolen. We haven't got any information from the California Highway Patrol that this is a stolen vehicle. But oftentimes, when there are vehicles used in the commission of a crime, that they are stolen vehicles that just may be unreported. So we're not saying that's the case in this situation, but it could be. So if they're running the plate and it comes back to the registered owner and they contact the registered owner, you can be assured that officers are probably made contact or gone to the registered owner's house to figure out, hey, who is this person? Who are they? If it's not the registered owner, then they can assume that it is an unreported stolen, and or all the circumstances revolving around the vandalism of the hotel. I'm sure they're learning all that intelligence, but it very well could be a suspect's vehicle. It could be registered to a suspect. They could know exactly who they're dealing with. They could be talking to family members, trying to make contact with the suspect. And a lot of times they'll see that when the California Highway Patrol or anybody in pursuit backs off and they give the distance, they don't try to do these intervention techniques, that they're trying to communicate with them. They're trying to talk to them, say, hey, listen, what's going on? How can we help you? Almost like a negotiation in a barricaded SWAT standoff. They want to talk and want to end this peacefully. Hey, what can we do for you? We're not going to hurt you. Those types of things are going on right now. If they make contact with a suspect and they talk to a family member and they're able to get a hold of them. So that might be something that's happening again. I don't want to speculate because we just don't know, but typically in these situations, those are part of the scenario on the freeway. In fact, I can see the 5 freeway right before it turns into 99, and the visibility absolutely goes 0-0, which means I can't even see the freeway. It disappears into almost what looks like a haboob, like a dust storm, but it appears to be, it could be dust, it could be smoke, I'm not real sure. In fact, if you guys give us the okay, I don't think suspects do anything. We can give you a quick look at that, but you let me know as we continue here northbound. But it might be dust. It's hard to tell right now.
All right, why don't you give it a shot, JT? I mean, somebody can keep an eye on the suspect, and Dallas is sitting there watching as well. Dallas always talks about how we have to be careful with lightning storms because lightning often does cause fires.
Oh, look at
there
that.
you go.
Oh my God, dust cause fires.
That is hard to say if we're looking at
that is hard to see. They might lose that picture here for a while.
That's dust, huh?
It's dust blowing up from the downdraft of the thunderstorm that's coming in.
The downdraft storm.
Pan right, Dallas. We're going to show you where the 5 freeway. You pan right, Rob.
5 freeway. You pan over there. Dust cause fires of that. Like we did the wildfires.
You can see right where the 5 disappears into that dust. So that's where suspects hit. We're going to come back to the pursuit,
October,
as you can see.
when there was a massive earthquake.
JT, I don't know if you can hear Dallas,
like
but
in
he is saying
Pittsburgh,
that is
we did, and you know, we gotta stop
like a haboob,
talking about that earthquake. We gotta concentrate on that pursuit video.
Well, yeah, we don't see a lot of
And
those
we know
here,
about there was an earthquake last year and the wildfires last year back in Pittsburgh or Sacramento and El Dorado County, and maybe Susanville, like.
That's where they are on the 5 freeway heading towards this very big storm that Dallas has been
we had an
watching.
earthquake
And there
last
you see it on the
year
radar,
back in
Dallas,
Pittsburgh, California, back in 2019.
Like
We know about the dust storm. Let's concentrate on that.
It looks like it was open because I thought I saw that the seats pretty distinctively in the curve and it was a tighter shot.
Well, it certainly is getting more hazy and
getting more hazy.
picture as we try to keep on top of this pursuit and
They're gonna try to keep on top of that pursuit.
Having to fly very high.
And if you've driven on these parts of the freeways, and I'm pretty sure we all have, we're coming up, I'm not sure if we've hit the 99 cutoff yet, but both the 99 and the 5, we're talking high speeds pretty much all the time. If you're trying to do even like 65, you're getting run over on these freeways. So it's a real long, straight, flat piece of road. So if you wanted to make some speed, you really could.
It looks like that CHP officer is gaining some, closing the gap a bit.
Guys, it looks like they're actually into that dust storm right now. So you see how that visibility's changed. We're on the leading edge of that haboob. The thicker, the heavier stuff's much further to our west, but you can see that visibility going. They may use this as an opportunity, if we can see it, to maybe to sneak up on the suspect and try to get that pit maneuver in. In fact, it looks like they're closing in. Robbie, if you could double up on that. Difficult to see here, but again, the visibility really bad. Barely see through all that dust from that haboob, but they are continuing here, and we're coming up on the section between the 5 and the 99. So
we're
he
gonna come
can
up
stay on the
to the
5 or
intersection
possibly jump on that
between
99
the 5 and the
northbound,
99.
through the desert area
99
here. But it looks like the
through the
Chippy's
desert.
kind of creeping up on him. Again, we're up at about 9,000 feet above this haboob.
9,000 feet
Very difficult
of
to see, but
that
it looks like he's trying to close in on him. And we'll see if we can't make this picture any better. We slow up just a little bit to see if we can't see this. But he's going to get into some better visibility here in just a second. He's going through the thick of it right now, and they should pop out into some better visibility any second here. But again, we're in the clear. We're north of the haboob. It is moving from the west to the east, and it's actually converging with a thunderstorm, which is on the right side. So we have the haboob on the left side of our helicopter. We got the thunderstorm on the right side of our helicopter, about 4 or 5 miles out, and they're converging on each other. And right now, we don't see the pursuit, but hopefully it'll pop into view here in just another second.
Yeah, I've lost it there for it's just a whiteout right now because of the dust storms. If you're just tuning in, JT is in Air 7. JT, you're pretty high up there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're up here, and then part of that is to get above the shear, and the other part of it is to maintain the signal back to the station. Our receive sites are not geared. This is outside of the KBC here in the Kern County area, but we're trying to maintain that signal back to our receive sites in the Los Angeles area, which is quite a haul right now, so we're going to maintain this altitude to continue bringing you these pictures.
Right. Okay, so the pursuit is down there. They've run into a haboob.
He's on 5 freeway.
Thick dust that they are driving in right now. That's why they're down there. Okay, I can barely make out the CHP vehicle, JT.
Yep, it's going to get much better here. They're starting to come into the clear. We're a little bit further north than they are by a couple miles to just get into some clearer weather, some safer weather here. So it should get nothing but better from this point forward. They're away from the leading edge of that haboob and continuing now to get a really good sight of them.
And I'm wondering if maybe the CHP unit closed up because he wanted to maintain a visual on the car as well. You know, they got to be able to see, is he throwing a weapon out the window? Is he throwing something else out? They want to maintain visual, and he might have lost sight of him.
Or if he could take off, too.
At the distance they were, so he wanted to keep right up with him to make sure he keeps the visual on him. I think he's backed off a little now that the visibility is improved a bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. But boy, that is something to see them go to the haboob.
Freeways, and here now we have that live picture from Air 7 HD. Are we able to talk to JT right now? JT, can you hear?
Yeah, Michelle, Mark, and can you hear me in Air 7 here?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. So the suspect has pulled over. He is at a gas station, a Chevron gas station on Maricopa Highway, just west of the 5 freeway. We lost him for a second in the dust storm, the haboob here, but right now he's gotten off at Maricopa Highway. That's just south, just north of the 5 and the 99, and we have not seen the suspect exit the vehicle. So we don't know when the CHP lost him, but we think he may have lost him in the storm on an off-ramp. He got off at Maricopa Highway here, and he is sitting at this pursuit very, very slow, Mark and Michelle, as you saw.
He was very slow going on highway. The speed's a little bit so slow, and he's on Chevron. He just pulled over into the gas station.
He may have saw a CHP vehicle coming up. He didn't want to interrupt that video, but he did temporarily get out of the vehicle, and now he's going in. So we're going to ride now just for a second, if we can, to see if there is a CHP vehicle in the area that he may have spotted, or maybe grabbing another position. So we're going to reposition the helicopter a little bit further northbound here as he switched pumps. It almost looks like maybe the pump is on the right side of the vehicle and he didn't know it, but that is our suspect wearing black shorts, black shoes, and a black sweatshirt. Looks like he might have a white stripe along the side of the shorts, dark shoes, but gassing up here. And now this could go a long way here if he continues, but that fits the description of the suspect.
They find the description of that suspect.
Gotta apologize here. We're above 10,000
I apologize.
feet here in
We're about that 10,000. We're about 10,000
because of the windy situation. You see that piece of
Go
ahead.
Hate to interrupt, but just real quickly, just in case, we don't know if the CHP knows for sure where this guy is. Can you just tell us again exactly where this Chevron station is?
The Chevron station is on Maricopa Highway and is just west of the 5 freeway. That's where Maricopa is the first off-ramp north of the 5 and the 99. So he exited the freeway, he drove westbound, and went to this gas station. It looks like he's back in the car and driving. Don't really see him right now. Okay, we're going to push forward here just a little bit here, Marcos. We're going to come forward so we see him. He moved to another pump. That's going to give you a good look at the suspect, but that's definitely matches the description of the suspect that we saw when we looked at the driver's side of the vehicle here. But Maricopa Highway is where we have it on our mapping system here, just west of the 5 freeway.
Just west of the 5 freeway, Maricopa.
South of where the 5 and the 99
yeah, he's on Midler, or 5 freeway, or the 99 freeway.
And I have covered,
Well,
I don't know how hundreds of pursuits at this point in our careers, but I've never seen anybody stop for gas during a pursuit.
We count anything. Like, I had to count 3 or 4 because we had to count 3 or 4 vehicles when we uploaded in Houston Police Chase March 3rd, 2017. March 3rd, 2017. It was a couple of days ago. Yeah, a couple of days ago.
Wouldn't have been possible were it not for that dust storm.
And we know that isn't robbery. Two robbery suspects. And custody. Houston,
Either they lost him or they decided that it wasn't worth continuing to chase him because it was a misdemeanor to begin with. This began with a misdemeanor vandalism call. Maybe they decided this isn't a felon.
Hold on.
It's not worth the resources at this point. They may have some idea who he is based on the license plate or some other information. You know, certainly if he vandalized the hotel room, he had to check into that hotel room. They probably know who this person is. And at some point there will be some other means of pursuing this individual aside from just chasing his car up the 5 freeway. That could have been a command level decision that was made. So that may be why you don't see any CHP vehicles behind him at this point, and why he may think he's gotten away, but ultimately, you know, the long arm of the law is going to reach out for him. And there he is. He's got a bag.
Going into the Chevron with his backpack, which is unusual. Not sure if he's going to go maybe change inside, but what I found very interesting, we're going to try to get a better position for you guys, is he pulled up to the gas pumps and he got out of the vehicle to fuel, and he realized that the gas fuel area for the vehicle was on the wrong side of the vehicle. So then there he's back in the vehicle. Well, then he had to move the vehicle over to the right side, and he got out to look like he was starting to put fuel in. But I'm not sure if he did. If he did, he did it very quickly. So what he's done is he put a backpack on, he walked to the store, and then he walked back into the vehicle. Just a few seconds ago, as you saw live from here from Air 7HE. Not really sure why that was, whether he took something, very possibly he took something out of the backpack and put it in a garbage can here. That's something that officers will definitely review, maybe getting rid of evidence there in a trash can, out of the backpack and in, but it's back in the car. It does not appear that he's got the gas nozzle in the vehicle right now, but just sitting there here on Highway 166, Maricopa Highway, just west of the 5 freeway.
And,
just west of the 5 freeway.
Well, the CHP coming, JT.
Well, we're so high right now. We're at 10,500 feet, and we're trying to get so much dust around here. We're trying to get eyes outside, but I don't want to pull out too wide. In fact, maybe we can take a quick look. We'll pull out wide. Rob Luckman, see if we can. There's a CHP right there, rolling in, and he's probably gonna deploy right behind the vehicle. So, and we'll see what happens here. Now this is a high-risk felony stop. Guns are out. Telling commands, it looks like the suspect's he's giving up. So whatever he may have had, that's not good.
Don't reach into the car.
That's not good at all. Yeah, so now he's complying, putting himself out. Officers giving him commands. Hopefully some backing units will get here. But what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to go to the front of that store and look at what he possibly took out of that backpack, because he wasn't there very long. Went to the front of the store, maybe hid it somewhere, put it in a trash can. I'm sure there's security video at that gas station that will show exactly what he did. But very possible that he did something with evidence very quickly. He wasn't in that area very long. Got out of our sight and walked back to the car with the backpack and put it back into the car. So right now that officer's put out a backup call. He's going to wait for some additional units here to arrive, telling them he's got the suspect at gunpoint. Wait for them to arrive and to take him to custody. There's his backing unit. They're going to help out, maybe get 1 or 2 additional units here before they hook him up and take him into custody. Very interesting to see if they try to gather that evidence, if that was even the case. But it was very odd that he took his backpack out, walked under that area in front of the store for a second, and then took the backpack back to the car, obviously concealing whatever he did with that backpack. But again, didn't see him fuel up, but it looks like CHP has got the suspect probed out right now, just waiting for maybe another officer or 2 to take him into custody.
Wow. Well, I wonder, all sorts of speculation could be involved here on what that backpack has to do with anything. Or I wonder whether he just needed gas and had no money to pay for it, and just was kind of stumped about what to do. And so, ultimately, it's just a question of waiting for the CHP to show up. He could have run out of gas on the highway, but he elected, I guess, to go to this gas station, and for some reason didn't fill up. And instead sat there. It went to 3 different pumps that we saw, and then just ended up just sitting there. So my guess is he didn't have any way to pay for gas, couldn't get any, and was kind of stuck. And now the CHP is here. They are taking him into custody, as you see. He was proned out on the parking lot, following the orders of the CHP officers. Again, this began with someone trashing a hotel room in the city of Inglewood. It began, what is that, something like 100 miles away or so from where we find ourselves now, 120 miles away perhaps, and all of that from a misdemeanor offense, allegedly, to what could be felony evading. So the actual escape was worse than the crime that spawned the whole thing.
Yep, if he had just pulled over right away, he'd be in much less trouble now. Thankfully, no injuries associated with this pursuit. We have no reports of any collisions with other vehicles. We'll have much more on this on Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock.